Hey, welcome back to Papa's Custom Cars. We're just going to finish up this firewall. We are this close and get some etching primer on it and then some regular primer on it. We're going to go ahead and clean up our seam sealer a little bit so that it's not so, there's some spots in here that look pretty bad. So we're going to hit it with a little sandpaper and get this thing in primer today. Come heck or high water, we're going to get this thing in primer. So let's get busy. So to prep the surfaces, over here we're going to need to hit this with a grinder. There's a little bit of surface rust that we need to get taken off of here. This is one of the areas where it was leaking really, really bad into the passenger compartment. And again, they just gooped up a bunch of stuff to plug it, left this whole area open here, this seam, and that's what started pouring just water into here every time it rained. And it rusted the fender from the inside out. It was unbelievable. There were little bubbles that formed at the top, and I knew there was a problem when I looked up inside. And I came, when I was getting ready to do the fender, I came and took my pick for my body work and hit one of those little things, and the thing went right through. So this is all going to have to be cleaned up with the grinder, mainly because it's a mess. And that way we can get that taken care of. And then basically we're just going to scuff it up with that with the green Scotch-Brite pad, and we'll be good to go. But yeah, the only area I've got to attack with a grinder is going to be this. This is a mess. This has got to be cleaned up a lot better than it is. I'm going to try to stay away from all this seam sealer because there's a bunch of it on here, and I don't want to mess with it because this is where the leak was. So we may end up having to run a bead right here because there is a seam right there that is not covered at all. So I'm kind of curious what happened there. What he did in a sense was it started developing a leak up in here somewhere. And so he just took a bunch of plastic bags and stuffed them into the hole. And I don't know how he did it, but there were like 50 trash bags in here, and they went all the way down along this whole section here, and they all stuck to the side of the fender. And if you go back and look at the pictures, you can see the whole fender inside just ate itself up. The new fender, the new mounts have holes drilled in them, and there's some strategic places you can drill holes. That way you don't have to worry about this happening to you. So definitely want to pay attention to that. Yeah, if I'd have seen this when I had the grinder out the first time, I would have already ground it out. But I didn't pay attention to it and completely forgot about it. It happens. Scrapers. As you can see, this whole area's got rust. Taking a little bit of it off already, and it comes off pretty easily, so that's a good thing. Right there you can see the seam. It looks like somebody welded in a piece of metal here. There's this side, and then there's this little strip here. I wonder if there was, and if you look, it looks like this is welded. Definitely doesn't look normal, so I'll bet you when it got hit on this side, it shoved this up. With the top of the fender up into here maybe. I don't know. Tell me what you think. Now the issue is I can't get in here with this grinder. It's too big. Again, see, look at this seam here. This feels sharp. So it's almost like somebody put in a piece of metal. It's hard to tell. big glob right here of metal. Really strange. Okay, I'm gonna have to get something else to be able to get in there. So the best thing to use on this little corner here is going to be some of that rust spray, or the prevention stuff that'll eat, or basically it converts the rust. So this little area here, I'm going to scuff a little bit. We're not really going to worry about it, mainly because there's so much of it. So I'm going to go ahead and order a can up. I thought I had a can and I don't. And I also have to seal this anyway, so it's not like I can do anything with that. So with that, we're just going to scuff this up a little bit. And that way we get everything to stick. But yeah, this area here, this looks like this is where the leak is, because there was no seam sealer on this at all. And if you look, there's a piece of metal. This piece of metal does not go with these two. This is one monster weld here. So I'm betting that something happened that has to do with that front end. So when that fender came back, it didn't damage any of this area here, but it did damage back here. So it probably shoved the fender into this, and that would explain the different colored. Some of this area had different colors for the seam sealer. Like this is a big glob of black, and like I said, they just globbed it on here at this corner, and you don't have to use that much unless you're trying to hide something. So I'm thinking they did. So with that, we're just going to go through and we're just going to scuff up the rest, and then we're going to tape it off, and we'll go ahead and put our etching primer on it, and that way it's good to go. And again, right here, there's a big glob of something. So somebody was in here doing something, and that's what screwed all this stuff up. Curious if they are the ones that put all that plastic bag down in there, which is possible. You never know. A lot of people do weird things. And this doesn't have to be perfect because, you know, this is all mostly hidden. I do want to get this out of there, so the next time I've got the grinder out, I am going to hit that. We're just going to avoid this area. We'll lay down some primer here, but this area we're going to leave alone until, at least this area here, until we get that converting spray on it. And the seam sealer, you just scuff it. You don't have to go crazy on it. And that's just to get something to stick to it. We are going to use regular primer on this too, so we just want to get the self-etching down. It's so weird, this big blob in there. You could say this is what started the whole rebuild 10 years ago. It was all of that.
Hey kid, don't ever let them get inside your head. They'll tell you what to do in life instead of everything you know that you could get. Don't let them guide your life towards regret. I'll fight for what I love with every breath. My past is filled with things I won't forget. I use them all to push me to my best.
Again, in this area here, we're going to need to put in some rust inhibitor too, because there is rust down in there that's where the wiper motor sits. So water that comes down basically drains off the cowl and down to the bottom, because the vent grate is here. So you're going to get a little bit of rust in here. It's not bad. Looks like mostly dirt than rust, so that's always a good thing.
They wanna rise up while you drown. They wanna fill your head with doubt. They're silently scared that you'll figure it out. I'll make it look like I'm losing. Won't bother hiding my bruises. And when they finally think you're wounded, then it's your chance to be ruthless. Make some progress, I can see that they compare. I think everyone's against me, maybe something in the air. Am I paranoid? I swear a void is forming and they're scared. I walk a straight path, not many can say that. I like to play fast, cross me and there's payback. You better pray that I don't see your face at any place that I go. I know you hate that. I've been doing fine, I'm not wasting any more time. I live for the fight and the climb. And I think that the pain that's deep inside is what defines. So I won't give up, I'm gonna make it to the top. I don't care what's in my way, I swear I'm never gonna stop. I could fall flat on my face and I swear I will get back up. Cause I don't deserve a thing and the road ahead is tough. They'll try to kick you while you're down. They wanna rise up while you drown. They wanna fill your head with doubt. They're silently scared that you'll figure it out. I'll make it look like I'm losing. Won't bother hiding my bruises. And when they finally think you're wounded, then it's your chance to be ruthless.
So the way to know the difference is if you look at the seam sealer that was with the car originally, it's the same color as the car. There's a bunch of black seam sealer that someone used. Question is why? You know, it might have been a leak, could have been anything, and they just sealed it up with seam sealer. I know that this one actually has factory damage in it that they repaired at the factory. That I found when I was working on the roof. Or to try to get as much garbage off here as you can. Even if it's not seen, you still want it to be nice. You don't want it. Just say scuff up the seam sealer and paint will stick to it, so that's all we're going to do. Should be good enough to scuff it, or at least to get the self-etching on there. No time to blow that all out. Get the dirt off of there. So all we're going to hit with the etching is just the bare spots of metal. Nothing up in this area, down along the cowl here where we did take some off, and then of course this entire area where it's all new metal. This is already self-etching or weld through, one of the two. No, this is self-etching. And then on the edges we didn't have anything, we ground it all off. So this is your Rust-Oleum self-etching primer. I've got some good Duplicolor stuff, but for this I'm just going to use this. I've got good Duplicolor primer. The reason I got everything in Duplicolor is because the paint job is Duplicolor's paint shop. Like I'm saying, the only thing you really want to get is any bare metal that we see. And like I said, I'm not going to shoot anything over here yet. First coat's relatively light. Like I was saying, just the bare metal is all you want to do. This stuff is a little expensive, so you don't want to be priming the whole car. Get that plaque off too. Bunch of bare metal over here. Okay, we should be able to go back over here now. Okay, now we need to let that dry, and then we can come back and coat it in primer. So, oh, by the way, I've got the door open back over here, so it sucks it's sucking all the heat out along with the fumes. I'll go ahead and open this up real quick, just for a little bit. That'll allow all the fumes to get out. And a nice cross grease. With that, we just need to let this sit, dry, and we'll come back after it and finish putting on the final primer, and then we can start tearing apart this front end and making it all nice, shiny, new stuff, which will be a really nice thing to do. So, with that, make sure you guys like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.